to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the July 25th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Hope
Good
you had
morning.
a good weekend.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, the first item, please.
First item is under proclamations, presentations. Presentation on the Future 2040 project, MTPO's Regional Transportation Plan 5-year update. Bill Fyander, Topeka Planning Department.
Morning, Bill.
Good morning, Commissioners, everybody. Happy Monday. I don't get to do this too often on Mondays, so thank you for having me. Pleasure. I'll take a couple minutes of your time to give you an overview of the sort of the kickoff of our regional transportation plan process. We've taken a chance this year. We do this every 5 years, but we've taken a chance to kind of rebrand it a little bit. Formerly, this is known as the Long Range Transportation Plan, a very catchy name. We wanted to kind of get beyond, a lot of times transportation discussion delves into potholes. And we're trying to get the public to look beyond and help us look beyond and have a sustainable network of transportation. So we rebranded it Futures 2040. It also refers to the different growth scenarios that this plan will consider for the future. The planning team is made up of the NTPO Policy Board, which overviews this process. Commissioner Cook is sitting on that right now. Then we also have a steering committee made up of some of our more technical folks, which includes Mr. Walk and Mr. Beagle from the county, as well as their counterparts from the city. But we also have some advocates, citizen advocates from Heartland Vision that also join us on that. The staff, my staff provides the staff support for the city planning department. The consultants you also may have heard about, RDG, you might be familiar with. Thomas Dow is leading as the project manager on that, and the engineer on the project is James DeBobbin. Both have strong Topeka knowledge base. Both have been directors of KDOT planning in the past, and also Mr. DeBobbin's a longtime resident of Topeka. There we go. As I said, this is a federal requirement of all MPOs throughout the nation. Our MPO here, our Metropolitan Planning Organization, has 5 partners: city, county, transit authority, KDOT, and federal highways. And while we have to do these things, there's a good reason. We also qualify for federal and state dollars as part of our transportation planning and improvements. We had about, in the last 4 years of the most recent transportation improvement plan for all those partners, it's about $400 million worth of projects. Of course, about half of that is the Polk Quincy Viaduct, but there's a lot of impact there that can be made. So we use this plan to guide decisions for the region. In this case, the region is defined as per our partnership agreement. It does not include the entire county. It does include Topeka, City of Topeka, and a little bit outside, all the way up to the county line on the north. About another 30,000 people to the city population. So it does not include any other city in the county other than Topeka at this time. It does include a little bit of Jefferson County. We try to be realistic with these plans. So at the very core, very basic fundamental level, it needs to be practical. And really what this ends up being in many cases is a list of projects that in the next 10 to 20 years need to be done for the region. So this is where all the projects more or less get their start. We want to know what is important to the community, so it has to be aspirational. What does the community aspire to? What's important to them? and we do that through engagement. And then lastly, this is where we want to be a little more thorough in our processes. Can we make it inspirational? Can we leverage other goals and investments to achieve other goals out of our transportation projects? A couple examples of projects that have been in the plan, just to give you an idea, and that have been committed. Obviously, this was one a few years ago, it's Topeka Boulevard Bridge. That had been completed, but at the time, there was still, I remember, a little bit of chatter of, do we really need to replace that? The plan and the model that is used in this plan showed that it would be a significant impact on the community if we did not. So that's one. Another close by one, which is in the plan, which is not committed for construction funding, would be the Polk Winslow Viaduct. You can see kind of the change there. And really that gets into some of the inspirational thing we were talking about. Can you leverage a transportation project which is badly needed from maybe a safety standpoint to provide better access to our city, to the downtown, to the riverfront, and also create a better image through that corridor. Couple projects that were in the county in the last plan that have been, one was done, one is to be done, Southeast 45th. This portion shows Adams to California portion. And then you also have a Southwest Uric project. Actually, I think it's in there from 21st to 10th. So those are in the plan. Those haven't been, and they're committed in terms of funding, or they've been completed. Or they will be. It's not just about roads. We're talking about connectivity of the entire network. So a lot of the plan will also emphasize our pedestrian network, our bicycle network, our transit network, even to the extent that we talked to the airport about their connections into the city and into after people get off. There was some issues there, and to get commercial airline service back, that's something we have to address better. So it's not just about roads. And then we also want to look at adding value. Here's another little potential project. This is the one in the city that we know we're going to have to do 12th Street as part of a sales tax project. But how can we use that to make a major impact by creating more of a complete street and a protected bike lane, which is this route is a bike way as well as a transit route. So this could have a significant impact if designed and done right. So how do we do that? There's two ways. There's two things that we use. One is a transportation demand model, which is more of a technical side of things. We plug in, based on our future land growth model, future populations and jobs that will be created over the next 20, 25 years. And then we see where the gaps are, where the stresses are on the transportation network, and plan for any projects out of that. So that's more the technical side of things. But then we also need to hear from the public. We need to engage them. We want to hear about all modes. And to do that, we're just kicking that public engagement process off right now, because this has to reflect what's important to people that live and do business here. So we are in the midst of doing stakeholder interviews. We are promoting our survey online, as well as the mapping tool with that. We're going to go out and actually set up the booths and pop up at events to go face to face and have people take a survey and talk to us about what's important. So that's all leading up to a meeting on August 18th at the library. That'll be our kickoff for the public. And then eventually we will go out to each quadrant of the community. We plan that into the budget, and north, south, east, and west. And so we'll set some more localized priorities in those areas and talk to people there. And then finally come back with probably another survey of after some projects have been identified for the plan, and survey the people again. And that all should wrap up in April, if all goes according to Hoyle. Again, I'll push it one more time shamelessly. Take the survey at topekamto.org. and you also have the chance to, if you're social media inclined, post some pictures and hashtag it Futures2040. We will go out and grab all those that have been done, and also help us try to reach all demographics, all age cohorts. So we're kind of excited to see what brings us from that. So that in conclusion, just wanted to again offer and ask for your support as we go through the process, and certainly we are excited to listen and engage with our priorities to you. And if there's anything we can do to make this better, it's one of the reasons I'm here. So thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Stand for questions?
And I stand.
Okay, good. Bill, tell us, does it include all the roads within the MTPO boundaries that you're looking at, or just those that receive federal dollars?
Commissioner Bueller, the projects need to be regionally significant,
Okay.
so it wouldn't necessarily include, the mill and overlay of the road in front of my house, but the projects that the arterials and to some extent some of the collectors that you have out there, the bridges that are very concerned to county residents are also part of this. Basically, any project that would be in your capital plans should be reflected in the plan, whether they get federal funding or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so some of the projects include sales tax dollars, future sales tax dollars, correct?
That is correct, yes. Those will get folded into the plan, and so in addition, so those are sort of what I would say automatic, and then we'll look for others that could be added.
And just an update on Polk Quincy. You said there were not construction dollars, I think is what I noted. We've done some study, but...
Right. Update?
Yeah.
Actually, we will be getting a presentation this week at the policy board from KDOT on that. My understanding, they'll probably go into a little more detail. The project's about 30% design. They have done field check, but they did, and actually I think what they're coming to the policy board for is to split the project into 2 phases, and then also begin to look at some right-of-way acquisition. But I do believe they have stopped design funding. So that's something we can find more out about on Thursday. That was my understanding last week. I found that out, that the private consultant that had been working on the design had been told to stop. So
That's not good news.
No.
It's very unfortunate because a lot of things rely on that improvement, the connection to North Patica, just a number of things, transportation. Yeah, it's huge. The riverfront. Commissioners?
Well, Commissioner Bueller, I might add, as a member of the MTPO, added the other T in there. We did have a very robust discussion last month about the Polk Quincy Viaduct, if I can get all those letters in there together. It came before the board to purchase the easements, to start that process and splitting the project into 2 parts. And with the discussion of there not being any planning dollars set aside, that the project is essentially on hold, rather than purchasing the easements, we held off so that we could have an update. And again, it was a very robust discussion. I think that it was a very split among the board as to whether or not we should engage in the easements or not, in what we're tying our dollars up for, and what we need to know what the plan is. And so this is an opportunity for KDOT to really tell us where the plan is and where the plan's going. And that meeting is on Thursday.
Correct, at 1:30 in the city's holiday building, first floor.
and these meetings are always open to the public. One thing about the MTPO is that it's not city-driven or county-driven, but it's community-driven. And so it really does draw together all your partners between the state, the federal, county, and city groups to really locate your transportation. So again, it's a community-driven plan.
Transit.
Yeah, and transit.
Anything else?
No.
No?
Just quickly, thanks for coming, Bill. It's always good to see you. Your survey is on topekampo.org.
Right.
How many questions does it have, and how long does it take to do it?
Commissioner Archer, I took the survey. A normal person, which I'm not, it should be 5 minutes or less.
Okay.
I was a little wordy, it took me 6 minutes. So there's a couple of open-ended questions. 90% of the questions are multiple choice or ranking sort of
Good.
selection.
Good.
So.
I'm getting so many surveys and questionnaires, and I get halfway through them, and I've spent 20 minutes on them, and I never submit them. So I would like to caution anybody that's taking the survey to make it reasonable as far as number of questions and time involved. And I'm glad you're doing that.
So, yes.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thanks for being here. Again, your kickoff meeting is August 18th. What time at the library?
August 18th, library will have 2 sessions.
Okay.
One will be over lunch from noon to 2, and then the second will be in the evening from 6 to 8. There'll be a presentation, but then there'll be an open house sort of thing where people can mill around and give us feedback.
Good.
All right.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Next item, please.
Consent agenda.
Are there questions on the consent agenda?
I would move for the approval of the consent agenda as presented.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one voucher report dated July 22nd, 2016. Total amount of vouchers, $810,747.74. Significant items include $95,000 for pole pad licenses. Think about that. Federal grant to the Shawnee North Trail, $119,000. Holding accounts, $127,000. Health insurance, $164,000. And I reviewed the vouchers, have no additional questions, and I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item B, Court Administration, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-224-2016 with DeLage Land and Public Finance, LLC, for the lease of equipment for the Network Infrastructure Refresh Project in a total amount of $377,748.26.
Good morning.
Morning.
On the 11th of this month, the court came before you asking permission to proceed in order to look into leasing this equipment, which you authorized. We have been in discussion with the company in question, and we're planning on refreshing all of our hardware infrastructure for the court. That's over $377,000. Obviously, we can't take that all at one time, so we're pursuing a lease option at the tune of $78,555.94 per year over 5 years. This is going to give us the necessary upgrade to meet the current and future demands of the court and the public. So we're asking you to authorize us getting into this particular lease agreement with the company.
Thank you. Other questions on this item? No. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the contract.
It's motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Item C, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones regarding his intent to solicit bids for janitorial services for the Sheriff's Office and Emergency Communications Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Colbeck. I'll be happy to try and answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. I had a couple questions, and we put this on the regular agenda. We recently approved an RFP to go out for cleaning for the courthouse and for the North Annex. And so this was not included in that RFP, correct? And I'm kind of looking to Betty, and she's going to sneak up behind you here.
That's my understanding. It's not. But
And,
is that correct?
I mean, we
That
do.
is correct. It was not included in that. In conversations with the sheriff's office, it's my understanding they preferred to do it on their own.
Okay. And do we have other departments who also do those services on their own as well, the health agency?
Well, the health agency and the elections office we will include in that RFP.
In the RFP that we just solicited, okay. So that would, go ahead. Did you have anything?
No, ma'am.
You had talked about some arrangement that Topeka police officers had.
In our discussion, I'd indicated that Mr. Archer had made an inquiry. I didn't know the answer. I'm actually waiting on a response from the sheriff, but I don't have that yet. I think it's certainly worth exploring anytime we can increase our needs being met with an existing entity
Okay.
at potentially a cost savings. It's certainly worth looking into.
So that's a possibility, but would the possibility to be to add that onto the current?
Yes, yes. Once we get those bids in, we can always ask them to add an additional bid for those services.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, do you want to proceed with this, or do you want to attach on to the current RFP that we have? Or do you want to defer this and get back with the sheriff?
I think it would be worthy of deferring
Okay.
until maybe the next meeting, so we
Okay.
can get questions answered
Okay.
before we move forward,
Okay.
if that's acceptable.
I believe it would be. I'll move to defer for a week.
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is
Maybe
there
August 1.
August 1, thank you.
Yeah, I'll second that and think that's a smart thing to do, to see if we can
Mhm.
do consolidated with the rest of the county, and also whether TPD, we can partner with them to save money. So I think that's a great idea.
Motion by Commissioner Bueller, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. We'll put it on August 1st.
Item D, Information Technology. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of Contract C 225-2016 with Information Network of Kansas to allow the Solid Waste Department to establish online payment services for commercial and residential recycling customers.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat O'Blainer with the Information Technology Department. This item before you is to establish a contract between Shawnee County or specifically Solid Waste Department, Information Network of Kansas, and Kansas Information Consortium to set up online payment services for the Solid Waste Department's online billing application. This is an item that the IT department has been working with the Solid Waste Department on getting established for some time, and we're to the point where we're ready to set up the linkages to the payment services provider. And in order to set up the flexibility that Tom Block would like to have for the solid waste billing application, we need to set up 4 different methodologies for payment and payment charges. And that's what the establishment of the 4 service codes does. The specifics are listed out in the agenda item and have the percentages that are paid for each payment methodology, who pays the fee, and how that's processed all the way through the payment process. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Thanks, Pat. Are there questions? Commissioner Archer?
Just quickly, Pat, I noticed on some fees are paid by the customer and some are paid by Solid Waste. How is that arranged?
The way those are set up are for commercial customers, and I don't know if, Tom, you'd like to handle that, or? Okay.
Commissioner Tom Block, Public Works and Solid Waste. In our discussions, we wanted to offer our customers a chance to be able to pay online free of charge. And we're working with this company. There are 2 different ways to do it. We can do it on a percentage basis of the bill, or a flat fee. And the way I wanted to set it up was that every customer would have an opportunity to pay it free if they wanted to. And there's an ACH, which is like an electronic check, or there's a credit card. When it comes to credit card, there's a certain percentage you pay. So the way I wanted to do it was to essentially make the cost as little as possible to solid waste that we'd be eating, but yet give them an opportunity to be free. So for our residential customers, their bills are going to be like in the $20 per month range. So I didn't think it would be right that I didn't want to pay a $1.25 or $1.50 per transaction for a $20 bill. I didn't want solid waste to pick up that cost. So we made that a percentage basis. I think it's 2.5%. So we'd be paying, 40 cents or something like 45 cents. On the reverse, with commercial customers, their bills are typically higher. So the 2.5% would be more than the $1.50 charge that we would be eating. So we reversed it in that we would eat the cost for an electronic charge, as opposed to paying 2.5% for, say, a bill that's $500 or $1,000. So we kind of reversed them based on the average bill, depending on whether it's residential or commercial. If that makes sense.
No, that makes good sense.
Okay. And just correct me if I'm wrong, we're setting these up at this point. What this action will do is for those residents living outside city limits, because currently inside city of Topeka limits, they have that option now.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
We contract with the City of Topeka Water Department to provide billing services for our customers, and those that are that have City of Topeka water service. City of Topeka has online billing capabilities through their water department, so they attach our fees onto their water bill, and so those folks that are paying their water bill online are automatically paying their sewer bill or their trash bill online.
So nothing will change with
Nothing
those
will change for
customers.
them. This is to add that capability for our commercial, and those customers outside the City of Topeka who are not on City of Topeka water, who currently don't have that online billing capability.
Very good. Thanks, Tom. Further questions?
Move for approval.
Second.
So motion to approve by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thanks, Pat.
Item E, Emergency Management. Number 1, consider approval of an Emergency Management Performance Grant application for fiscal year 2016.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dustin Nichols, Emergency Management. This is the grant that we apply for every year since prior to me coming to the county. So it helps us maintain our level.
Thanks, Dustin. Are there questions on the application?
Move to approve.
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thanks.
Thank you.
Item F, Health Agency. Number 1, consider approval of request to fill a Family Health Services Division Manager at a salary including benefits of $70,976 and filling subsequent positions that become vacant as a result of filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Allison Alejos, Health
Good morning.
Agency. This is a division manager position that was just recently vacated. It's for our Family Health Services Division. This is the division that we do our outreach, maternal and child health services. So we've got the Nurse Family Partnership Program. We've got First Steps. We've got newborn home visits that we do. And the list goes on. This is a very important and big role. There's many grants in this. The funding for this division is very complicated. This division manager would be responsible for maintaining that budget along with oversight for the division goals, watching for regulations that need to be maintained, lots of things like that. So the position itself is $70,976, and that's annual salary with benefits. It is included in both our 2016 and 2017 budget.
Thanks, Allison. Other questions on the request? I'll move approval. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item F2, consider approval of request to fill an Office Assistant 2 position at a salary including benefits of $39,202 and to fill any subsequent positions that become vacant as a result of filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Agency. This is one of our clerical positions, an office assistant 2. These positions work in both the 10th Street Clinic and the immunization clinic and in the WIC clinic, which is now McVicker. Very busy clinics. The salary is $39,202. It's funded through the WIC grant and revenue from the immunization program, and it's included in both the 2016 and 2017 budget. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Linda. Any questions?
I move for approval to fill the office assistant 2 for the Shawnee County Health Department.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
Item G, County Counselor. Number 1, consider approval of estoppel certificate and consent to assign all of Atrium's rights and obligations under contract C-174-96 to Tuscan Topeka LLC related to Capitol Plaza Hotel's booking rights to Maynard Conference Center and the exclusive right to food and beverage sales and services for the Maynard Conference Center.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jonathan Brazon, Assistant County Counselor. Back in 1996, the County Commission entered into an agreement to basically lease the booking rights to Maynard Conference Center along with the food and beverage sales rights. That agreement has been assigned at least one other time that I know of in recent years. This is another one of those assignments to a new entity. And basically what you're being asked to do is consent to that assignment from Atrium to Tucson Topeka LLC, and also sign the estoppel certificate, which just certifies that they are current on their obligations to the county, which the Audit Finance Department has confirmed they are. If you have to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Archer?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I noticed this took up about 50 or 60 pages. What's the practical effect of this?
The practical effect is we're now dealing with a new entity. We're dealing with Tucson Topeka instead of Atrium TRS.
Is there a financial impact, a service impact? I couldn't get that from all the legal stuff.
Right. The terms and conditions of the contract haven't changed. It's just we're dealing with a new entity now. The amount of money does change every year slightly. It goes up by the increase in the consumer price index. In '96, it started off as $95,000 a year, and now it's up to $139,000. So it does go up a little bit every year with the CPI.
Okay. Well, I'm sure Commissioner Cook understood it. I just didn't.
I just might.
Commissioner Cook, yes.
How does this tie in with our Expo Center renovations? I mean, I know that we've kind of talked about Maynard Conference Center with the Expo Center, renovations to the Maynard Conference Center. Does this have any impact on that at all, or is this just concern the operation of the food services?
Yeah, this is just for Maynard and food services and booking right there.
So if you were a customer, if you came to the Waterfall Grill for your Sunday brunch, you might notice that the bacon's a little crispier, but as far as the overall, not that the bacon's not crispy, it's always a good brunch.
I think so. I think that's fair to say.
But Waterfall Grill, Sunday brunch, great.
Just a follow-up question though, but any of the improvements for the Expo Center do not include Maynard Conference Center?
No.
Correct. Yeah, there's none of that $45 million is allocated for Maynard Conference Center. Okay. All right. Further questions? Or a motion to approve?
So moved.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Anyone have any administrative communications this morning? Our Register of Deeds is not going to get up and talk about your experience at the fair. Congratulations. I think you need to come up, Becky.
You're terrible. That's awful.
I just got lucky, and my pig did the figure 8 in 27 seconds.
Yeah.
Or I guess it's a hog.
Yeah, hog.
But pretty good for a city girl. So.
Congratulations. Good deal. I did that once, and that was the last time.
Might note that it beat the treasurer's record.
That was my goal, to be the champion from last year.
up. I guess it should have come up before. Right?
Yeah,
Right, about that.
exactly.
But, just wanted to give you an update. The 46th Street Mill and Overlay project, was completed last week, so it's
Excellent.
completely open. I mean, it has been open with, pilot car, but, I was quite pleased with the work, so if you get a chance, go ahead and drive it. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you, Tom. Anyone else? Commissioners?
Advanced ballots are open. If you want to cast your vote at the elections office, you may do so. And just encourage everybody to come out and vote.
Commissioner
I
Archer?
concur with that, and that's all I have, Madam Chair.
All right. Madam Clerk, next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
And I do not believe there is a need, so we are adjourned. Thank you.
I was sending out a tweet when you started talking about it.